and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well and having a lovely day wherever you are in the world. Today I thought it would be fun to share my pottery fails. Now, I have not done pottery since January, and the last video that I made on pottery was showing you my creations, some good, some maybe not so good. I will link that for you guys to go and watch and check out if you've not done so already. But I have just started again with my new pottery class just this Saturday, so I thought, let's humble myself. Let's see the failures and let's reground, because I have definitely done some hits, but some definite misses, and I thought it would be fun to show you the reality of pottery, that some things just don't go well no matter how hard you try, and I thought I would kind of walk through what went wrong with these ones. So let's just get straight into it and show you the first failure. So I'm gonna start off strong with this one. I was so proud of this piece. I was feeling so good. But the pottery gods had other plans in store. Now you might be thinking, this isn't terrible, and you're right, it's not the worst. But for me, I was so sad. So let me show you the worst bit. So as you can see, there are some drips. Now that was not intentional. And also the color was not intentional. Now a lot of people have made me feel a lot better by saying, that's a really cute little honey jar or something like honey. And I appreciate the support, but not what I wanted. I'm pretty sure it was meant to be like a very cute spotted pattern. Like it was meant to be white with like a brown and white spotted like print almost to it. And clearly that did not happen for me. It went like a vomit yellow, not the greatest color in my opinion. I'm just like, not for me. Now, just to top that off, it also did a lovely drip. Now that is my bad. I dipped it in and then I tipped it upside down a little bit too soon, and so it caused a drip. Now, there was just a singular drip, and I think it's this really long one here. I think that was the first one. It was just a singular drip, and so my thinking was, let's just commit and make it look like a cool drip design. And I regretted that almost instantly. I just feel like it's so close. I love the shape of this. I thought it was a very cute little shape. I was actually hoping to then turn it into a mug of some kind. Now, there's so many reasons that this could have happened. It could have been the place in the kiln. It could have been the just different makeup of the different glaze that I've used on that particular day. It could also be just the way I applied it. So many different ways. But it's one of those things where it was going so well for so long. I'd created it. I'd carved it. I had done the first glaze of the white, gone so good, and it was just the last one that really did not go to plan. So I would, in my books, classify this as a failure. What do you guys think? Is this a fail? Is it not? Do you think it's cute? I had such high hopes and the hopes were destroyed. So that is my first pottery fail. Now I'm gonna do a 2-for-1 combo with this one here for these two. Now these were separate classes, but again, little pots where they went kind of well and then went seriously wrong. So let's start with this guy. So as you can see, this one, it has a lot going on. A lot is happening here. So I'm gonna start at the beginning and tell you what happened. So originally, I was just throwing a little bowl, and originally it was about this tall. It was like a nice, solid sized bowl. And then it got a bit of a wobble, and so when I was carving it, it ended up kind of just hacking down until I got to this size and shape, and it is the most wobbly bowl I think I own. Everything is off center. Like if I show you this base, it is just not in center. So then I just embraced the fact that this one was gonna be interesting, instead of just throwing it away and getting rid of it, I thought, you know what, let's try some stuff. So I tried some different designs that I was thinking of doing. So a little bit of a rim around this pot here. Again, did not go well because everything was so uneven and wobbly that it just made everything else more wobbly. I tried the very cute kind of scratch design at the base, kind of going up, and it just looked weird. Things did not go well. I've seen a lot of mugs in store have this design on them and they look great, they look so good, but because it was so off center and wonky and all over the place, it ended up being very, very bizarre. Now the only thing I really like about this is the base. I like the rings. It actually worked really nicely, very symmetrical, but it doesn't match the rest of the bowl. Now, just on top of that, if that's not enough, we got the glaze. The glaze became an issue. It just slipped right off this thing. Honestly, that is why you see that there is some slightly different colors and patches of white and a bit of yellow actually in some areas. The glaze just like fell off. Don't know what happened to her. She just got a bit interesting and became a big old test dummy for all my random thoughts. It was very helpful though, because it made my pieces that I really liked and spent a lot more time on a bit more perfect, because I knew, let's not do the scratch design. Let's just give it a miss. Let's not use this color glaze in the combination that I did it, because clearly it's not happening. That one, to be fair, I didn't know until like the end. I really tried to save it with the glaze, but it didn't happen. But anyway, glad I didn't. And yeah, very interesting one, but not terrible. Now to go on to this one, again, another test dummy kind of piece. This one I think didn't turn out horrible. I kind of regret the little indents that I created in it. It was actually a really cute little fat shape and it would have looked really adorable if I hadn't put those in. And unfortunately, the same kind of thing, the glaze slid right off. So two kind of test pieces. This one I think is a little bit more salvageable, but still not my favorite and definitely is a little bit of a fail in my books. The last thing about this one was also the fact that I double dipped this. I put too much glaze on it and that is why it really slid off. So something to know if you are going to do pottery or would like to try it, be careful with how much glaze you put on, because sometimes it just slides right off. If it's too heavy, too thick, not my finest moment, but not the worst either. So the next somewhat failure that I have for you guys is a big one. Now, straight off the bat, doesn't look that bad, but it's the background of this which makes it a failure in my book. So this one is not the worst thing I've ever created, but it's a failure to me because of the time it took to actually create the piece. It took me like 2 to 3 sessions and classes to actually make it, and a lot of effort. Now, I made this as a hand building, not as a wheel throwing one, so it took a lot longer to get the straight edges and get all the pieces the same size and put them all together. Now, not only did that take a lot of time, but the kiln did not do it any justice, unfortunately. So when it was in the kiln, the edges bowed, the straight lines curved in, so it just doesn't give the right appeal and not really what I was looking for. But not only that, but the inside cracked. Now, what really sucked about this was the fact that I actually reinforced it so it hopefully wouldn't have cracked, but it did. So I can't control that. That's just the kiln gods doing their thing. Now, it is also a very deep crack, so I cannot use it for food safe things. I can't make it into the cooking dish that it was meant to be. So that is what really makes it a failure in my books. Very, very unfortunate. The color also did slip off in some areas, but it's not the worst thing ever. And I do like the handle. I like the look of the handle that I did. I thought it was quite unique and fun. But unfortunately, because it is no longer food safe and of those edges and cracks, it is a failure to me. I'm sorry, you took so much of my time and effort, but you just didn't survive the kiln. So yes, let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think of this? Was it a failure or was it okay? What do you think? I'd like to know. So this piece here is actually not a massive failure in my opinion, but it is something that I was impatient. I didn't take the time to really make it as good as what it could have been. It could have been a lot more crisp and clean. What really makes this a failure, in my opinion, is the fact that the deep blue lines that I have running through the pot are not clean. They're really messy, they're really scribbly, and not in a cute way. I was thinking maybe I'll get away with it and it'll be kind of cute, but I think it just looks a little bit undone and a little bit not very finished or finalized. So in my opinion, not the best, but again, not the worst. I do think I could display this and make it work in a really cute setting. I like the shape of it, I like the feel of it, and I love the base that I did, some very micro, little grippy kind of design on the base. A lot of potential out of this one. I like the color and the pattern, but those lines just did not do it for me, and I wish I spent a little bit more time cleaning them up and perfecting them to make it look a lot more crisp and just a little bit more together. But again, not the worst thing I've ever created. Let me know, what do you guys think of this one? Do you think it was a failure or should it not even be on this list? But yeah, not the worst, not the best, somewhere in between. So the final thing that is on my failure list is my prized possession, one of my favorite things that I created. Unfortunately, it is my teapot. Now, I spent a lot of time and energy and love and care went into this thing. I love it. I think it is a beautiful shape. I love the color. I like my little lid, my little hat. It's nice and chunky, so I feel like I can grip it really easily. Beautiful handle, beautiful spout. I think it worked really well and I spent a lot of time on it, but unfortunately it did not survive the kiln. It split at the base and it means I can't actually use it for its intention, which is to be a teapot. So unfortunately, this one, it goes on the failure list in my opinion. It does not do its purpose, but I love it so much. I think it is beautiful. I just, unfortunately, the kiln gods were not in the favor again and it split. So I would love to try recreate another teapot and see if it survives. Until then, I've got my little teapot that doesn't really work as a teapot. Now I have thought I could make it into a little plant holder or a little just decoration or something. But besides from that, I don't really know what to do with it now because it doesn't really do its purpose. So let me know in the comments down below, what should I do with my little teapot that isn't a teapot, because I don't really know what to do with it. But I love it and I want to keep displaying it, and I spent a lot of time and energy on it, so I would like to actually try to do something with it. So if you guys have any thoughts on what I should do, let me know in the comments down below and I will try to do something with it. But yes, again, I spent a lot of time, a lot of energy, and although it is a failure in some ways, it is also something that I think is really, really cool, and I'm very, very proud of it because of how well it turned out. I think it's lovely. I just would love for it to work. But that is all the things that I have for you guys today to show my failures and to really humble myself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. And I would love to see you guys back here. So if you want to see more pottery content, subscribe to my channel and let me know if you'd like to see my new creations for this semester. But thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!